Yeah, now dear students, let us consider the application of damping rule, which is to find the z transformation of cos n theta and sin n theta. Then after we find the z transformation of cos n theta and sin n theta, I have to further find z transformation of k par n cos n theta and k par n sin n theta with the help of the properties of z transform, which we are going to consider as the damping rule. So the same problem can also be asked as prove that z transformation of k par n cos n theta is z times of z minus k cos theta divided by z square minus 2kz cos theta plus k square, and similarly z transformation of k par n sin n theta is zk sin theta divided by z square minus 2kz cos theta plus k square. Now let us consider the proof. This proof or the problem has two stages. First stage is I am going to find the z transformation of cos n theta and sin n theta. Second stage is to find the z transformation of k par n cos n theta and z transformation of k par n sin n theta. Now to find the z transformation of cos n theta and sin n theta, I am going to consider the Euler's formula. What is Euler's formula? I have it as e to the power I n theta is given by cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Now the LHS term e power of I n theta can also be written as e to the power I theta whole to the power n, which is equals to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Now we have a standard z transformation function which we are going to consider. So for our convenience, let us consider the term e power of I n theta as k. So when I use the substitution, the previous expression becomes k to the power n, which is cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Now what is the z transformation formula we have of a standard function? It is z transformation of a to the power n is z divided by z minus of a. Now if I substitute the value here a as k, what is the substitution for k? It is e power of I theta. So what will be the RHS? It is z divided by z minus e to the power I theta. So I am going to use the substitution here. Therefore, z transformation of e power of I theta whole to the power n is z divided by z minus e to the power I theta. Now see, I have to simplify the denominator and try to eliminate this exponential term with the imaginary part, that is e power of I theta. So to do the same, we are going to rationalize the denominator. So rationalizing the denominator means what? Multiply and divide the expression with the same term but with a negative sign for the imaginary part. So we are going to multiply and divide by z minus e to the power minus of I theta. So when we do the same, we are going to get it as z times of z minus e to the power minus I theta divided by z minus e to the power I theta into z minus e power of minus I theta. Now we know that e power of minus I theta is nothing but cos theta minus of I sin theta. We have used the Euler's formula for exponential term and the denominator we have multiplied. So when I multiply, I get the denominator expression as z square minus z times of e power of I theta plus e to the power of minus I theta plus 1. Now if I observe here, see the denominator is e power of I theta plus e power of minus I theta. So which can be written as 2 times of cos theta by the formula. Then we are going to simplify the numerator. When we do this, we get the expression as z transformation of, see here I have e to the power I theta whole to the power n. So what is e power of I theta whole to the power n? I can write it as cos n theta plus I sin n theta. So we have substituted the same for the LHS, and RHS we have used the formula for the denominator and we have simplified the numerator. Now group the real and imaginary parts. So when I group the real and imaginary parts in the RHS, I will get it as z times of z minus cos theta divided by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1 plus the imaginary term is z times of sin theta divided by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. Now consider the real part on both sides. So what is the real part? It is Z transform of cos n theta from the LHS is equals to Z times of Z minus cos theta divided by Z square minus 2Z cos theta plus 1. Then similarly consider the imaginary part. So the imaginary part from both LHS and RHS is Z times of sin n theta is equals to RHS will be Z sin n theta divided by Z square minus 2Z cos theta plus 1. So this is our first stage or first step in obtaining the Z transform. Now what is the next step? I have to use these two obtained Z transforms to find the Z transform of k par n cos n theta and k par n sin n theta. Now let us consider the first one. So what is the first proof or what is the first value we need to find? It is Z transformation of k par n cos n theta. So for this we are going to use the damping rule. What is the damping rule? If I want to find the Z transform of any sequence of the form k par n into un, we can write it as the Z transformation of un, which is denoted as u bar of z. Into that definition, replace z by z divided by k. So I am going to compare the LHS of the damping rule with the given problem. So what is the substitution for the term un? Un can be written as here cos n theta. So to use the damping rule, I should know the Z transformation of cos n theta. What is Z transformation of cos n theta, which we have obtained just now, is Z times of Z minus cos theta divided by Z square minus 2Z cos theta plus 1, which will be denoted as u bar of Z. Now I am going to write the damping rule for the required problem. So Z transformation of k par n cos n theta is u bar of z, I have written here. Into that expression replace z by z divided by k. So when I do the same, I will get the RHS as z by k times of z divided by k minus cos theta divided by z divided by k whole squared minus 2 times of z by k cos theta plus 1. Now take LCM and simplify the terms in the numerator and denominator. See here, when I take LCM, I will get k squared and k squared terms in the numerator and denominator. Let's simplify these two, and what are we left with? We are left with z times of z minus k cos theta divided by z square minus 2z k cos theta plus cos squared. So this is the Z transformation of a sequence of the form k par n cos n theta. Now what we can do is, suppose if you have k as e power of minus a suffix n. So what will be the expression? The expression becomes z times of z minus e to the power of minus a cos theta divided by z square minus 2z e to the power of minus a cos theta plus e power of minus 2a. Got it? So similarly, now we are going to find the Z transform of k to the power n sin n theta. So what is Z transformation of k to the power n sin n theta? It is given with the help of the damping rule as, first compare the LHS of the damping rule with the given function. Un sequence is nothing but sin n theta. So let us write the Z transformation of sin n theta. What is the Z transformation of sin n theta? From the previous proof, it is Z times of sin theta divided by Z square minus 2Z cos theta plus 1, which can be denoted as u bar of Z. Now apply the damping rule for the required expression. So by the damping rule, the Z transform of k to the power n sin n theta is u bar of Z expression, whatever I have, then substitute Z as Z divided by k. So when I do the same, I will get the expression as, so here Z by k sin theta divided by Z by k whole square minus 2 times of Z by k cos theta plus 1. As usual, take LCM, we get the expression as Z by k sin theta divided by Z square minus 2zk cos theta plus k square divided by k square. Simplify the numerator k with the term k squared in the denominator, and we will get Z transformation of k par n sin n theta as zk sin theta divided by z square minus 2zk sin cos theta plus k square.